Okay, so sorry about that. My computer went crazy. All right, so Hitler, while he's in prison, is going to write Mein Kampf. Okay, I just told you all that. Okay. And he has this great plan to put all the blame on the Jewish race because they have the most money. Okay, so it's called the Final Solution. Wants to exterminate them, put the blame so Germany can come back and be awesome, take over the world. Okay. All right, so the Nazis gained some power, all right, because of the Great Depression. Their economy keeps sinking and sinking and sinking. Nazis make this promise to bring everything back. So they win 37% of the popular vote. So they have the majority of the Reichstag. Remember, their Senate body, okay, their legislative body. And remember, the largest party gets to vote in the chancellor, okay? Guess who they vote in? Why wouldn't they vote in somebody who is racist, just wrote a book about racism, somebody that was just in prison? Why wouldn't you do that? Absolutely crazy, right? Okay, please note my sarcasm. All right, here we go. So Hitler is appointed. All right, so 33. Okay, so in 33, all of a sudden, the building where the Reichstag is held, okay, it would be like our Capitol building, okay, is just burned to the ground. Well, Hitler's going to blame the communists. I mean, why wouldn't you? Those crazy commies, right? Well, the deal is, more than likely, Hitler and his goons are going to burn the Reichstag building to put everybody into this fear state of mind. Okay, so he calls for new elections. Everybody's so afraid. They support the Nazis. They support Hitler with even greater craziness. Okay, so anyway, he's going to allow for them through these re-elections to get more seats in the Reichstag. And because of that, he'll be able to push through the Enabling Act, okay? And he's like, oh, sure, I'm going to be absolute dictator. It's going to be fine. So fine. I can pass laws. I don't need you, Senate. I don't need you, President. And then all of a sudden, weirdly enough, President Hindenburg is dead, okay? Supposedly, like, some weird heart stuff happened, but I think we know what happened and who kind of set the stage for Hindenburg to be killed. Ooh, scandal, okay? Anyway, nobody really questions it. Hindenburg's dead, and now Hitler comes in. He's like, I got a great idea, guys. We've always wanted a dictator. We have no tradition of democracy. We want to not be like the West, okay? And so he blends those two top positions and he creates De Führer, okay? The Third Reich is brought in, okay? There's no more Reichstag. There is just one dictator, okay? The Nazi Party controls everything. You are going to have torturing happen. Heinrich Himmler comes in and he is going to have all of these super awesome Gestapo secret police. You also have the brown shirts, and then you also have the SS. Okay, they're in the bottom right, the Nazi elite guards. Okay, propaganda is at its finest in Germany. Okay, you got this guy named Joseph Goebbels. Okay, and Joseph Goebbels. I mean, look at this poster that he makes of Hitler. It's like he's fantastic. Like the glory of God is shining down on him. This eagle in the background as he lifts the banner of the Nazi flag. Okay, I mean, y'all, like the movies that are made, everything, the radio shows, the papers that are printed, everything represents um, the power of the Nazis and the destruction of everybody else. Education is going to be overtaken by the Nazis. Only Nazis can teach, okay? Only Nazi stuff can be taught. I mean, look at this chemistry. You're making poisonous gas. I'm sure, like in Miss Webb's class, y'all would really, be doing that, right? Okay. Social studies, the evils of democracy, okay? And then, of course, calculating bomb distances. Well, this is going to go even a step further. So, beyond just the scope of regular school, they're going to set up Hitler Youth programs. I mean, look at that, between the ages of 6 and 18. Okay, so pretty young, all right? And so, what they're going to do is they're going to bring all these kids in. It's like they're going to camp, okay? And they bring them in and they're training them, they're teaching them all the Nazi ways, the Nazi thought process. Also, they're like militarily training them, okay? And they're bringing in boys and girls, all right? And you would think, okay, well, the girls are going to stay in one place and the boys are going to stay in another. Oh, no, 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 no. They are in each room. You have a boy and a girl in each room. Because what is that going to promote, guys? Oh, that's right. It promotes procreation. procreation of the master race. And so, pretty much, you're going to have all of these super young teenagers pregnant with all of these Aryan babies. And yay for Hitler breeding the master race. How creepy is that? Super creepy. Um, uh, just with science and culture, they're working on more weapons, of course. Okay, supposedly they are going to start plans for the atomic bomb first. You'll have a guy, his name is Albert Einstein, who actually is a German. He'll come to the United States and be like, guys, y'all need to start working on something because the Germans got some crazy stuff going. And so the US at this point is going to start something called the Manhattan Project whenever they hear that. We'll talk more about the Manhattan Project soon, okay? All right, so let me tell you another thing. If you ever see books being burned, everything being censored, your guns being taken away, your freedoms being taken, you better question that, okay? Because that is what the Third Reich does first, getting rid of everything that is anti-Nazi. Okay, these big book burning parties, ridiculous. Women, of course, why wouldn't they be inferior? I mean, who doesn't love patriarchy, right? I mean, look at this poster. This woman just straight up breastfeeding right here. Okay. The purpose is the master race and the master race only. And so the whole goal is to breed and breed and breed. And so women are really only seen as having them. I mean, look at how many children are in this other picture. She's got 4 children right there. Okay. So anyway, have children, more children. Okay, so Hitler's big promise is he's got to get them out of the Great Depression. And to be honest, he ends their depression quicker than any other country in the world. Okay, and he does this through these massive public works projects. And also, just like in Italy, through massive arms production. So you have all these people that are employed and employed and employed building tanks and building bombs and building guns, but also building roads, okay, building bridges to be able to transport your military as quick as possible. Oh, what do you think those public buildings are? You think they're probably building concentration camps? Heck yeah, okay. Have you all heard of the Autobahn before? It's a fantastic highway in Germany. It does not have a speed limit. Um, it's really interesting. We'll have Eisenhower, who will later on serve as our president, was a general during World War II, and he will be inspired by the highway system in Germany while he's there. And while he's president later on in the United States, he will actually create a massive uh, highway production. That's why we have the highways that we do today. Anyway, production increases. Look at that. They eliminate unemployment. Like, literally everybody has a job because they need that many weapons. Now, here's the deal. Is that legal? No, not legal. Hello, Treaty of Versailles. Hello, not rearming anything. And so that little chunk of red land, the Rhineland, they're going to remilitarize it. They're going to use the draft. They're creating all this stuff that violates the Treaty of Versailles. In the meantime, the Allies. Okay, now granted, U.S. did not sign the Treaty of Versailles. Remember, we didn't want to join the League of Nations. We don't want to be involved in all the foreign stuff going on. But Britain and France are like, we just got out of a war. I don't really want to go back in the war. Like, I'm sure it's fine. It's just Germany. It's Germany. Okay. And in the meantime, the Third Reich is building power. At this point in time, in 1936, Germany will also host the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. Interestingly enough, Hitler will say, because the U.S. at this point in time is sending some athletes that Hitler does not approve of. We're sending African American athletes. And what Hitler says to that is that the worst thing America did is release its slaves. Ooh, how bad is that? God, he needs to be punched in the face. Well, it's super awesome because we have a great runner come forward, and his name is Jesse Owens. I don't know if you've heard of him, but race after race after race, he beats those Aryans, okay? And so this black guy gets to stand on the top of the podium and like be for America, represent his African heritage right there in the face of Hitler. Booyah, Hitler, okay? Interestingly enough, all of the Germans that lost to Jesse Owens end up disappearing. Ooh. Not so great. Okay. Anyway, another part of the Third Reich, as you know, is the persecution of the Jews. And so in 35, you have the Nuremberg laws passed. Interestingly enough, it's a year before the Olympics are held in Berlin. Okay. So if you look at that top picture, all right, if you had a drop of Jewish blood in you, you had to wear the Star of David to represent that you were a Jew. You couldn't leave Germany. Your business is going to be questioned. You probably are going to be ousted from your home. You're going to go move into a ghetto. Okay, so the ghettos are inside the city. They're not concentration camps, um, but they are going to be moved out, and everything is really going to start to be questioned. Okay. A couple years later, so this is a process. Okay, it's not just like overnight that they send these Jews to the concentration camps, but it is a process. Okay, but the persecution is getting greater and greater and greater. Okay, and so in November of 38, you have Kristallnacht. All right, and all of these Nazis go and they smash and they loot and they burn all these Jewish homes and businesses and synagogues. It's called the Night of Broken Glass because they literally like break all the stained glass in the synagogues and destroy everything that showcases anything in the Jewish businesses. And at this point, you pretty much see all of the Jews are in ghettos at this point. Okay, and in the middle of the night, you just start to see trains come in, and they start to take groups of people from the ghettos into the concentration camps. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Okay, all right. So that is the beginning of fascism. All right, good deal. We'll talk about Japan next.